Hey guys, Aaron here. Today I'm going to make a video showing you guys some of the necessary things you need to know in order to swap in a L8T 6.6 liter into your GM truck or SUV years 2014 through 2019. Now what we have here is a brand new crate engine from GM. It is the L8T 6.6 liter that comes in the 2020 and newer Chevy heavy duty trucks like the 2500 HD. Now, this swap is becoming more popular in the 2014 through 2019 GM truck and SUVs, and for a lot of reasons, and one of which is just the cost. These complete crate engines from GM are not expensive at all. Ran me a little bit over $7,000 to get this right to my shop, which is awesome. Another factor is no displacement on demand, so it doesn't share any of those lifter issues that the older 6.2 and 5.3 engines have. Now, a couple distinct differences between the L8T and the 5.3 and 6.2. Right out of the gate, this engine has 401 horsepower and 464 foot-pounds of torque, which is pretty nice. 10 to 8 compression ratio, so the compression is actually a little bit lower than the L83 and L86 motors, which I can see why GM did that, so you don't have to run premium fuel in these heavier duty trucks. But honestly, with the displacement and adding the camshaft, easily you're going to get a lot more horsepower. Uh, the camshaft that comes in these engines is actually quite small. So simply changing out the camshaft, you're going to see really huge gains. Some people gaining up to 500 horsepower just by changing out the camshaft itself. But comparing the horsepower figures to an L86, the L86 comes with 420 horsepower for 60 foot-pounds of torque. And then, of course, the L83, 355 horsepower and 383 foot-pounds of torque. So pretty good bang from the buck just out of the get-go. I'm not leaving this engine stock. I'm going to be putting in a Brian Tooley Racing camshaft, a VVT lockout kit, some valve springs, and a LT4 supercharger. But we'll save that for another video. Let's just go over some of the distinct differences that you're going to need to know if you want to make this swap into your truck or SUV. I've done the swap a few times with outstanding results, but first and foremost is the intake manifold. Intake manifold actually is the same out of a L86. So all the hookups are the same. The positive crankcase ventilation system is different, so you will need to reuse the valve covers off of your L86 or L83 engine. You'll notice the port on the driver's side is going to be a little bit different, so swapping over your valve covers is going to allow you to run your factory PCV system. As you can see here, you have your port for your evap system. Your evap line will just come across like it does on the factory trucks. Positive crankcase ventilation systems up here. Just use your factory lines. If you're running a catch can, you don't have to worry about that. Your map sensor is going to be in the same location, so no changes really need to be made for the wiring on that. With this factory GM crate engine, they come with a little wiring harness here for your coolant sensor and your oil pressure sensor. So that'll just plug into your factory wiring harness, which is nice. Again, this engine doesn't have displacement on demand. So once we get this intake off, I'll show you the valley cover. This does not have provisions in the block for displacement on demand. So, you're going to have to keep that wiring harness kind of tucked away on your factory wiring harness because you won't be using that displacement on demand, and that wiring harness that connector will just kind of sit underneath the intake manifold and hang out there. Now you can see on this block, there are no provisions for the vacuum pump for the brake booster, so that will not be needed on this swap. You'll be taking that off and keeping it off. You'll have to source another place for your vacuum line. A lot of people just hook into your PVC system or drill and tap and put a barb fitting into the intake manifold. As we discussed earlier, we will be using the factory water pump. The water pump outlets are in a different location on this motor, so we'll be scrapping this brand new water pump and putting our new one back on. Now, as you can see, the water pump itself is different. The outlets are in different locations, so we'll be needing to use our factory water pump. I'm going to put a brand new water pump on, but the 14 through 18 water pumps do bolt directly on, and that's what we'll be using. So as you can see with the water pump off, we have access to the camshaft position sensor, VVT wiring, and the oil pump wiring as well. This can all stay, this can all swap over. It plugs into the factory harness just fine. You don't have to replace any sensors. All right, let's go ahead and turn the motor over. What we're going to look at is the oil pan itself. I've used this oil pan on the older trucks just fine. Fits in good even with four-wheel drive. Your connector for your oil level sensor is going to be different. However, you can buy a pigtail and splice it into your wiring harness. I'll include a link in the description of where you can purchase it. Believe it or not, it's actually the same connector as your coolant temperature sensor. So you just buy a pigtail. You could use this brand new, nice and shiny oil pan in your truck. Some people do swap over their old oil pans from the 6.2 or 5.3. That works as well, just a matter of preference. Now here we have the crankshaft position sensor. It is the same on the older L83 and L86s, but I've heard trucks with, I believe, 2019 and newer, they have to use their old sensor. The sensor is a different part number than this L8T. So if you have the older 5.3 L83 or 6.2 L86, this sensor will work just fine. And as you can see, the knock sensor pretty much in the same location, same connector, so you don't have to make any wiring changes there. You see with the intake manifold off, we have access to our valley cover, injectors, and all that. Couple key differences to note here. No provision for our displacement on demand. What you could do, done this before, where you can actually reuse your valley cover from your old motor. That way you have somewhere for the connector to stay. It'll be plugged in. One wire is always hot on that connector. I've also just kind of hidden it off to the side before, so kind of a matter of preference on that. Since I will be putting an LT4 supercharger on this engine, we'll be going over that in a later video. I'll be using an LT4 valley cover just because it has the provision for the PCV valve and everything underneath the supercharger. Oil pressure sensor is the same, kind of just stays right there, connects to the cover the same, so no wiring changes made on that. High pressure fuel pump right here. Pretty much everything the same. I'm going to be keeping everything the same. One thing here that is different is your fuel pressure sensor right here. There's one thing to note. There's a 3-wire and a 4-wire. The older motors have a 4-wire, and so what you'll need to do is you'll need to swap over your old fuel rail and sensor. You can't just do the sensor itself, unfortunately, because the mating surface in the rail is pitched at a different angle, so you'll have to swap over your whole old left side rail and sensor in order for it to plug into your fuel pressure sensor, which is located right here. So make sure you pay attention there. They are not backwards compatible. When you plug in your wiring harness here, this sensor will not be compatible with your ECU. Your ECU will not read it correctly if you have a 4-wire sensor, so make sure that is swapped over. The flywheel on the back of the engine is the same on the L8T versus any 6.2 or 5.3, so I'm going to be using the brand new flywheel that came with this crate engine. If you're like me and you bought the crate engine, you can go ahead and use your new flywheel, so no changes there. Now, one thing we talked about earlier in the video is a positive crankcase ventilation system. Is different on this L8T. As you can see, this driver's side port is a lot smaller. This is a dirty air port. On the older 5.3s and 6.2s, it's going to be a fresh air port that hooks up to your intake. So by swapping your valve covers on this motor to your old valve covers, you can actually just keep your old positive crankcase ventilation system, and that kind of solves an issue there for that. Now, as you can see here on the driver's side, we do have the knock sensor here. The knock sensor is in a little bit of a different area, but the wiring harness will plug into it just fine. You might have to loosen up a couple connections to make that work. That's no biggie there. Same connector, so you can go ahead and use these brand new knock sensors along with the motor. So one thing to note, GM changed the injector size in 2022 from 7.5 millimeter to 6 millimeter. So the injectors are physically smaller on this engine. The bodies of the injectors are, and the castings and the heads are different. So you won't be able to reuse your older style 7.5 millimeter injectors if you did the LT4 conversion with the LT4 injectors. Unfortunately, those won't work. What I'm going to be doing in this build is I'm going to be using stock L86 cylinder heads with the 7.5 millimeter provisions. So I can use the larger LT4 injectors for our supercharger that we're going to be throwing on this engine. There is an option, the Cadillac Escalade V and the CTSV Blackwing have 6 millimeter LT4 injectors. However, those vehicles run off of Global B ECUs, and the injector data is not transferable, unfortunately, into the older E92 ECUs. So if you are needing supplemental fuel for this L8T and you're doing a swap, you'll either have to go port injection or you'll have to change out your cylinder heads to the LT1 L86 with the older style 7.5 millimeter injector. Or there are a few machine shops that will offer drilling out as a service. You send out the cylinder heads to get drilled out from 6 millimeter to 7.5. That is an option there. Now, as far as a harmonic balancer goes, you can definitely use the balancer that comes on the L8T. Of course, you won't have the provision for the rear belt running the vacuum pump, which won't be needed. So this is the correct diameter, it's the correct spacing, everything is good there for our serpentine system. And that pretty much covers all of the major changes and things that you need to know to swap one of these into your older truck. Just thinking if I missed something, I don't think I did. In this next video, we're going to be swapping out the camshaft. We're going to be putting a Brian Tooley Racing 4-inch stroke supercharged camshaft along with VVT lockout. We'll be locking out the VVT solenoid and then putting in some valve springs to handle the higher RPMs along with some push rods. We're going to be putting in some heavier duty push rods for that camshaft. So I hope this video has helped you out. If I missed something, let me know. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave something in the comment section. Thanks again as always, guys. See you next time.